What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 90210 Faux Show. This is a 90210 podcast from 1990 to the year 2000, 90210 hit series. Beverly Hills 90210. Okay? Guys, thank you so much for listening. We do have other episodes. This is the 13th episode that I've done as a podcast. We're going season by season, episode by episode. This episode, we're going to be talking about the episode 13. It's technically 12, I guess, because they don't count the pilot as episode 1. But it's episode 13 to me. All right, it's called Slumber Party. This one is where Brenda says, hey, I'm going to have Cal, I'm going to have Andrea come over, I'm going to have Donna come over, and we're just going to have a girls' night. But they're like, it's not a slumber party. It's we're just going to have like girls' night where guys aren't over there. And we can kind of just talk, and so that was a good idea, right? And the girls are like, this isn't a slumber party, is it, Brenda or Bryn? How old are we? 7th grade again, right? So Kelly, she has an old friend that she's like, I'm gonna bring my old friend. Her name's Amanda Pacer. Ugh, Amanda Pacer, what a bitcunt. That's right, a bit cunt. Yeah, I mean, she was the worst. I'm not trying to be rude or nothing like that, but Amanda Pacer, what a nasty, nasty woman. All right, what a nasty woman. So that's what's happening in this episode. Yeah. So Brenda does have the slumber party. Brandon says, hey, I'm getting the hell out of here, right? I'm getting the hell out of here. Guess what Brandon's going to do? He's going to hang out with Steve Sanders in his Corvette, right? And they're underage. I mean, how old is Steve Sanders and Brandon at this time? 16, maybe 17? I mean, I think they're sophomores in high school, right? Maybe juniors. Are they juniors? Maybe this whole time I'm thinking they're sophomores, but maybe they're juniors. I do know the last episode that Brandon was talking to the student that he dated for a minute that had a baby. Whoa, huh? That he said that he was a junior. So maybe I'm wrong. So anyway, Steve and Brandon try to get into a club. And doesn't work. Steve's just blown away because he's telling the doorman, like, how much money you need, man? Let me in here. How much money? All right. Cut to the next scene. The girls are having a slumber party. They're dancing. They're having a good time. Cindy Walsh comes in with like some chips and stuff. And guess what? Cindy Walsh gets grabbed and put in the middle, and then she starts dancing. Right? She's like, no. Guess who shows up? B.I.T.C.H. Amanda Pacer just welcomes herself in. Totally judgmental, totally comes in there with her judgment and her asshole attitude, right? It's just like, who are you? First of all, Amanda Pacer doesn't even look like a high school girl. That's the one thing with casting, how sometimes they get it wrong. It's like, everybody in here, everybody listening's been to high school. And yeah, you do have those people that are like, you have a few people that like had a beard in like 8th grade. Yeah, you got those people. And every once in a while, you got an 8th, 9th grader with like double D's and like, little ass size 4 waist where you're like, whoa, holy moly. But very rarely, most people just look like little kids, especially in like 10th, 11th grade. You don't look like a goddamn adult going to Berkeley, So Amanda Pacer comes in. She says, hey, Cal, let's get the F out of here. Let's go to this frat party and I could, do beer bongs and have some guy eat my butt by the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And then Kel's like, no, I'm staying here. And she's like, I said Kel. That's short for Kelly Taylor. So please keep up. Kelly, I usually sometimes call her Kel. And Brenda, I sometimes call her Bryn. Okay, so please keep up. If not, what am I going to do? All right, so they hang out there. Amanda Pacer sits in the corner with her little judgmental attitude over there. And it does show the ladies like they're just digging in on ice cream, cookies, and Doritos, and Amanda's like hands off over there. Doesn't even want to touch it, And and that shadows later of like a little bit more of like who Amanda is. All right, so Steve and them couldn't get into the club. Steve and Brandon, right? They're in the Corvette, top down, okay, in that California weather. Guess who walks up? Cutie little blonde, cutie little brunette, right? Little round-the-way girls, okay? They come up, they go, hey, what's up? We're going to lead you on. We want to hang out with you? And dumb Steve's like, of course, please. Right? So then there's 4 people riding around in a Corvette, which looks totally uncomfortable. Brandon has a little tenderoni on his lap, Brandon Walsh. Brandon Walsh always steps in shit, comes out smelling like roses. He's one of those guys, right? So they're driving around the whole time. The young blonde's like, I love these cars. This is my favorite car. Can I drive this? And then Steve, like a dummy, takes her to. Steve, like the dumb Steve Sanders he is, takes her to a parking lot, right? She starts driving. It looks like an asshole at first because she can't drive. Next thing you know, her little friend that was watching her drive on the parking lot, she goes, hey, hop in. And her friend jumps in, and they steal Steve Sanders' car, all right? Yeah, they steal Steve Sanders' car, which Steve starts crying. Brandon says some good words to him, and he feels better. And but it shows the softer side of Steve. So slowly they're starting to crack the dumb idiot Steve Sanders egg that they're slowly cracking and showing. Like, look, Steve, yes, he's straight up Beverly Hills rich kid, and yeah, is he a lughead? But you know, you can tell Steve slowly is coming around. Also in this episode. You start to see Andrea and the ladies start to bond a little bit because she was invited to this slumber party. And then also, this is an episode where Donna Martin, I feel like it's the first time Donna Martin kind of showed, like, look, I am a sweet, innocent girl, and I really have no skeletons in the closet. And she has a little bit more. You can tell they're letting them in. The ladies do some cute things that, like, you know, high school kids do, like they played a Ouija board and stuff like that. David Silver, that little creep. David Silver and Scott came to the window and they were taking pictures of the girls, and the girls see him and they go, "Get out of here, you little creep!" Before we call the cops, and they take his camera. And then David goes, "That was my mom's camera," which is pretty cute, I guess. I don't know. I don't know who the hell would think about taking flash camera pictures outside of a window at high school girls. I mean, that does sound a bit creepy, right? So as this episode goes on, Amanda Pacer's just being a total twat to the ladies and being rude. And she also, Amanda Pacer wants to play this game, Skeletons in the Closet, right? Where she goes around to every lady and they kind of tell their dark and dirty shit, you know, where it's like, yeah, this is what happened to me, you know? And you hear some stuff, man. This episode, you hear Kelly said that her first time that she had sex was with Steve. And then Amanda, being a total twat, goes, not the real first time, Kel. And it comes to find out, Kelly Taylor, I think, it said that she was raped by some guy she had the hots for, but took her out to the woods, and he kind of forced his way on her and raped her. And which it talks about that. 90210 did not have to talk about rape, but look, boom. They're talking about rape again, all right? And you know, they talked about it a couple episodes back when Brenda was working at a hotline with Andrea Zuckerman, and now they're bringing it up again, right? So you also see something about Kelly that she's like, yeah, she's not perfect, and she's got some demons too. You know, this is stuff that humans deal with. And then they go to Andrea, and and the whole time Amanda Pacer's just being a twat, like prying into their lives, like, you know, what else, you know, that's it, and just being a total bitch. And they get to Andrea, and they start picking Andrea apart. Like, you could say your name's Andrea, but you say Andrea, and Andrea's just like, it sounds different. That's why I went with it. And they bring up how Andrea, like, who would you like to have sex with? And she says some hot lifeguard, and they go, no, we see you with those big cow eyes walking around. This is what Amanda Pacer's saying, walking around school and with Brandon. And we know you want to have sex with Brandon. She goes, okay, whatever. Yeah, of course, Brandon. She's about to cry, and Andrea's just like, what the hell is this, right? Then they get to Donna, and Donna basically says, look, I don't got anything. Yeah, my family's boring and kind of okay. And then, of course, Amanda Pacer goes, something negative about how boring you are. You're a liar, you know, that if you don't have any skeletons. And then they get to Brenda, and Brenda, you know, has a little bit of tears, and you know, Brenda talks about how she broke up one of her good friends and their boyfriend because she was kissing on her boyfriend, and eventually her and that friend were never the same ever again. And then as soon as she says that, Kelly goes, yeah, she was trying to be honest. Kelly goes, hey, I as soon as you started dating Dylan, because I tried to have a date with him. And then Brenda got real mad. Then the girls had a heart-to-heart where they're like, ever since you've been dating Dylan, you've been a real this and that. And she goes, you know, they had a real thing, and then they were all about to leave. And then they go, Amanda, you're not in this. Brenda's ballsy. That's a good thing about Brenda. Brenda Walsh is a pain in the ass. She's a bit whiny, but she is independent and smart. I'll give her that. And she goes, no, Amanda, you haven't been in this circle yet either. We got to do skeletons clothes with you. And she goes, I would never, Amanda Pacer goes, I would never tell you guys that. Right? So then Amanda leaves, and the girls kind of have a bonding thing where they go, look, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. They all hug it out, right? Well, I guess they grab Amanda's purse. And, of course, all her pills in her purse pop out onto the floor. And they were diet pills. Comes to find out, Kelly goes, these are diet pills. She goes, my mom was on them and years ago, and she was a total pain and a bitch. Then Amanda Pacer comes back in and goes, what are you guys in my purse for? Remember, yeah, I'm taking diet pills. Remember me in 8th grade? I was a total fat girl. And now I'm not. Now I'm skinny. And I said, I'll never go back to that. And they have that whole thing. And then they kind of talk it out. And then Amanda comes in and sits down. So this episode, I mean, it does scratch the surface on mainly the ladies. And just talking about, like, this is who the ladies are, right? You've seen that Brenda broke up her friend, and that Kelly got raped, and that Donna's still like a normal girl, and Andrea, you kind of see into her window of who Andrea is. And then the main thing I think it talks about is like weight and diet pills, which at one time, I'm sure it still is a big problem. I'm sure they still have diet pills out there, and I just don't pay attention to them. But at one time, diet pills were really bad. It messes up your metabolism from what I knew, that I heard of. And it's just totally not healthy. And that's the reason why this Amanda Pacer was being a bitch. And so then eventually they find Steve Stander's cars. They bring the beautiful women into the police station. They flirt with them right in front of the cops. Never would happen. And then they don't press charges. And then they get a date with them or something like that. Steve Sanders is so stupid. Again, just showing how stupid Steve Sanders is. Slumber Party. It was aired on January 31st, 1991. So wow, this was a 1991 New Year's episode. I wonder if that was a big episode since it was New Year's and people were at home. It was directed by Charles Braverman. Charles Braverman also had his hands on a few things like Nixon, Crackers to Watergate, or Checkers to Watergate. Let me see what else he did. He did some Baywatches. He did some Melrose Places. Shout out to Melrose Places. He did some Beverly Hills. He did, looked like he did probably 9 episodes. He did 9 episodes of Beverly Hills, this guy. And he did Sledgehammer. Nobody out there knows what Sledgehammer was, but that was a really St. Elsewhere. This guy goes back, man. He did some St. Elsewhere and stuff like that. Yeah, so pretty cool, man. That's who directed it. Of course, the people that wrote it was the very talented Darren Star. Shout out to Darren Star and all the stuff that he did. AKA Sex and the City was excellent, right? And yeah, this I felt like this was a good episode. I felt this was a it's 90210, man. It really freaking they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to go into all these topics, weight loss, rape, all that stuff. The actress that did play the bitch, Amanda Pacer, that's Michelle Abrams. Okay, Michelle. She spells her name a little bit differently. Looks like Michelle Abrams did. She did a Seventh Heaven. She did a Murder, She Wrote. She did a Lois and Clark. She did a Beverly Hills. She only did one episode. She only did this episode. She did Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Wow, remember that one? Probably not, because I'm old as F, and nobody else remembers that. Good for her, man. Good for her. I love 90210, guys. Please share this around if it's your thing. If it's not, I completely understand. I'm 41 years old, and I got a German Shepherd in my basement, and we're doing 90210 episodes. And please subscribe to my YouTube page. You can catch me on Instagram, Eric Pinnell 1975. And yeah, man, that's it, guys. 90210 faux show. Take it easy. Bye.